Corey Jacobs here, learning the funk, forever learning the funk. I'm giving my reaction to George Clinton's audio book on Audible. Free your mind and your bliggity blank will follow. And I want you to pay attention to the tidbits that give us the George Clinton we know now. Let's get into it.
When I got to Jersey, I went over to visit my cousin Ruth. And while I was over there, the Shirelles was rehearsing, and she said they got records out, they make records, and I heard it on the radio, soon after that. I was like, oh my God, that's, wow. And then she turned me on to the doo-wop vocal groups, the Spaniels, the Flamingos, the Moonglows. That was the doo-wop side of town. That was the music for the hood, along with Tito Puente, which was the Latin thing called mambo and cha-cha, which I had no idea what it was.
Tito Puente.
But that was the cool music that if you was 15 and 16, you had to learn how to mambo and cha-cha. That was the disco of the era. But my cousin was all into that. She had all those records. She had all those 45 versions. I worked in a record store called Essex Records, and they threw records away, and I would bring them back, and she'd pick out the ones she liked and tell me, you can probably sell these up at the school, because I went to a school up there that had a lot of white kids in it. And she told me, oh, you can sell this Jerry Lee Lewis and this Everly Brothers. You could sell these up at the school. And I did. I used to make so much money. Oh, and they were throwing them away. Record companies wasn't taking them back at that time. So I made a lot of money during that period. And that's when I bought the sweaters for Parliament.
Okay. Hustling.
I started the Parliaments in grade school at Avon Avenue School.
Okay.
But before I did the singing group, I wanted to be a baseball player, because the heroes that was ahead of us, and they was playing baseball, so I wanted a baseball team. But as I put my team together, I couldn't even play myself. They didn't want me on the team. And by this time, I had already ordered sweaters from this sporting goods store, but I couldn't be on the team, so I said, I changed it. I changed it from the baseball team to a group. Those sweaters that I was buying for the baseball team, I just changed it from the Little Braves to the Parliaments, which was cigarettes.
Didn't know that.
Everybody had groups named after cigarettes or cars, the Cadillacs, the Chesterfields, the Winstons. So I named it Parliament. I got Gene Boykin, who lived on Chadwick Avenue, Herbie Jenkins, who lived on Seymour Avenue, myself, I lived on Bergen Street, and Glenn Carlos lived down on Ridgewood Avenue. So we all was right around the school, the same neighborhood. Then I went to Clinton Place Junior High School. That's where the group really got together, and we became the darling of Clinton Place Junior High School with those little sweaters on. It's now called University. But they had just built the school, and the first day there, when school opened up, they had a brand new PA system, and we just had learned the song Sunday Kind of Love, and we got on there and sang it over the PA system, and we were instant smashes the first day of school at Clinton Place Junior High School. And my name being Clinton, I thought I had some pull. That's when I really started to, we got the sweater, we started rehearsing, we started doing shows at Bergen Street School, the High Street Community Center, Boys Club. We started doing the Battle of the Groups, going over to 7th Avenue, the Monotones who wrote the Book of Love. They lived over there, and they had Battle of the Groups. You go there and see who could win the battle. If the Four Seasons was actually started over in that area. So I knew immediately that's what I wanted to do. And in the meantime, I tried lots of jobs. I remember when the hula hoops came into town. We helped them pack the machines into the building, helped them hire the people, because they was, right in the middle of our hood on Badger Avenue. when we first saw them putting up these things, talking about a hula hoop, it didn't make any sense to us at all, but they was offering jobs for anybody that wanted to work. Like, we weren't but 15, but we told them we'd help them, and we started telling people there was jobs to be had, and it was going so fast, because I guess it had already happened on the West Coast. They were so far behind. They just let us bring all the people in. We brought all our friends in. And our friends brought all their little brothers in. The kids did it faster than we did. Take the plastic, two of you, meet each other in the middle and put a cork in it, and we'd take somebody older, would do the stapling. We'd staple it with a staple gun. So we were able to do it so fast that we got ahead of schedule. We had to get another building. We hired other people to just come in and put their names down, and they would go home. But the kids actually did most of the work, and everybody got paid. About a week after we got started, we started seeing that it was such a thing, we didn't even give them a chance to sell hula hoops in Newark. We sold the hula hoops to the stores ourselves.
Wow.
I mean, I had hula hoops in my backyard for years.
Cut out the middleman.
We did so many that they couldn't even keep up with the inventory. We worked ourselves out of a job because we did it so fast. In about a year and a half, we had to pack this equipment up and send it off to Frankfurt, Germany. Because of singing, we had to have our hair done. Sugar Ray Robinson, Nat King Cole. You start seeing them with that jet black hair. That, you know what I'm saying, with the waves.
Slick back.
They would fall out real quick, but for a minute, you was pretty as hell. It was definitely pre-Jerry curl and pre all of it. Back in those times, we prided ourselves into, being cool. We had tailor-made suits from Wilmer. You had tailor-made shirts. I couldn't drive, so I didn't have no Cadillac. But dressing was the ultimate, and you always had to be clean. Always tailor-made suit, not off the rack.
Not anymore.
We started that in grade school. You had to be bagging, they call it. You had to be bagging your ass off, and shoes had to be shine. So, yeah, we made people cool.
Not anymore.
We used to do each other's hair in the basement at the house.
Wow.
And at that time, Danny Mitchell had become the bass singer in the group. We called him June. He got a job in the barbershop on Springfield Avenue called Uptown. He got the job first. And so we were still doing each other's hair, in the basement. He said, come over here and check out what we can do with the real equipment. We goes over there, and he's like doing it big time. He's got customers waiting all day and do our hair, and we look like we got money all of a sudden. That was the look, because everybody that got their hair done, they had Cadillacs out front, double and triple park Cadillacs. I went in there, I worked for a while with him, just washing out heads and getting started. And we moved from there to a place called Supreme, which was like all the movie stars that came through town, Jackie Wilson, the Temptations, everybody would come to. So I worked there for a while, but I wasn't up to their standards. So I had to get my own place. So I went out to Plainfield. A friend of mine took me out there on the bus. I went to Plainfield. They didn't have a barber doing that. So I started it out there. I was the only one doing it, which immediately, within a month or two, I had the whole county locked up, with customers. So I was making money hand over fist, which helping me to go to New York more often to make those demos, which we were beginning to do at that time. The barbershop was also a place where we did our rehearsals at. We just lived in the barbershop. After close the curtains, we'd be in there jamming, had the corner lit.
George Clinton, my goodness.
One day, two white kids came through there, and they had a bag, and they called us in the back. They had a case of $20 bills. It was counterfeit $20 bills.
Uh-oh.
I got $2,000. That's how much I got, and they took it and left. Okay, so we had $20 bills, and we was passing them out. We gave it to most people, you know, like if I owed you 50, I give you 200. But some of the kids that had it, they passed them everywhere. So much so they start coming back to the barber shop. And we said, we can't take that stuff.
Oh.
We did that for a good year. I mean, I bought new chairs for the barber shop.
Whoa.
I bought panels and curtains, and we called it the Silk Palace. And we taught ourselves how to make records. We bought equipment for the community center for all the kids was playing at. So by the time these undercover cops came and busted half the city for dope, the guy came to us and said, I appreciate the fact that you helped so many kids, you know, around here, that we're going to look past this. And so he gave us a break, because half of the kids worked at the barber shop. I had hired most of them in Plainfield. They was cleaning up or doing stuff. But when he came in, we was putting money in the coffee, trying to make it darker.
Wow.
Because it looked like, you know, green and white, I guess. So putting it on the wall, he walked in and said, but if I would advise anybody that know anything about funny money, I would advise them to get rid of it because they own to you. I got on the horn and told them to throw all of that shit away. That was it. We didn't want nothing else to do with it. I felt so lucky.
Wow. Yeah, he's definitely lucky. And the thing I take away from this is that he was hustling. He was selling things and doing things to make money, and that money went back into his music, his demos. Whew, that's what I take away from this. George Clinton. Let's see what's up with part 3. I think part 3.